Welcome to Egg Foo What? The first and only podcast about people eating stuff. This episode.
Have you decided to put the emphasis now on egg? Egg Foo What? Because you've proven to so bad at doing it the way you're supposed to. You've bungled week after week. Or is this you're just trying another angle?
Well, this is why I have a co-host.
I'm just saying. I mean, I admire it. I appreciate your wanting to better it after week of
improv
yourself.
Are you familiar with jazz, Greg?
I hate jazz.
Well, I'm a jazz bow. I'm a jazz bow.
Jazz is terrible
and I improv. You're not going to get one performance the same from me. That's what jazz is all about, freedom.
You know what nobody wants to hear from a couple of middle-aged white guys?
It's about freedom, Greg.
Let's make this jazzy.
Yeah.
Nobody
jazz
wants
is
that from
freedom.
Us. Nobody wants you being jazzy. Nobody wants us freestyling. They want a couple of old dudes talking about shitty food. And based on the first 8 episodes or 10 episodes, Elvis,
yes.
Elvis and me getting the belt.
Lots of Elvis content, but that's where we're part of the zeitgeist.
We seem to come back to Elvis and me getting the belt as a kid. So, and you're bungling the fucking name every week.
Well, let's have it from the pro then. Give it to us.
Welcome once again to another episode of Egg Foo What? I am Greg. This is your lovable co-host, Mike. Mike, I believe we have a special guest this week.
We do indeed.
Excuse me.
And setting
That's
up.
How you do a fucking intro, you rube.
Oh, boy.
Let me just say, setting up this particular episode has been like setting up the summit at Malta. I mean, I couldn't get you guys
here. I'm not saying it was easier to land a man on the moon, but I will say it was probably easier to watch.
Yes. But it was a struggle, and we're here, and so we're going to make the most of it. My guest today is Jim Murphy. He's a fellow citizen of Bayonne, born and bred, still resides there. I met him in a bar I used to work at called H&H Pub. He was one of the more gregarious characters in that bar. And when he heard the first episode of Egg Foo What, he had like a what would you say, a Proustian moment. He heard Greg talking about thickness of gravy, or what he described as puffiness. And this set off a rumination about his quest for the perfect thickness of gravy for chicken with black bean sauce, which is our dish this week. Without further ado, Jim Murphy.
Yes. Hello. I wish I brought my dictionary so I could understand what you were talking about, Mike. You were certainly going on a jazz riff there, but I enjoyed it. Yes, chicken with black bean sauce, a very, very interesting and delicious dish, according to me. Apparently, some people don't enjoy it, but I love it. And yes, puffiness or thickness has been my goal and my aim in life, to get a thick sauce. To me, the idea is to get a very thick sauce, and it is very difficult to find. It's also very difficult to translate. Trying to find a Chinese chef to do a thick sauce is kind of like trying to find a barber to do what you tell them to do. They say yes, and then they go ahead and do whatever the hell they want. So I have found one place in here.
Yeah, you tried many restaurants in Bayonne, and there are many. There's I don't know how many there are. There must be at least 20 Chinese takeout joints in Bayonne, would you say?
Well, like in the old days, there used to be a bar and a pizza place and a nail salon in every corner. They are still Chinese places on mostly every block. The quality depends on how much you want to spend. And there's plenty to pick from. And but
And your
they
quest took
all,
you to the Great China Wall.
well, that was the place where I found my guy. Much like finding you, Michael.
Yeah.
I found my guy. He
This was a nice
understood me
moment, guys.
like you
Keep going.
understood me. Yes.
Uh-huh.
He understood me like Michael understood me at the bar. So I found the guy who would make the sauce thick. The Chinese word for thick is how. So it kind of turned into a Jerry Lewis skit. I would ask them how, and they would look at me and stare at me with the blank look. And I finally found someone who understood me, and he would make it thick. And it's all about the sauce. Black bean sauce. Black beans are little tiny small beans. They're not the black beans you get in the Goya can. They are
No.
very small fermented beans, and they're very small. They have to be seasoned, and the sauce, when it's done right, is garlicky and ginger flavored. And the thicker the sauce, the better the flavor. From doing my research, which just means typing in Google, it's a Hunan style dish, and very popular with the Chinese. And I'm not sure about the Chinese American, or maybe they just don't like me. I don't know if I was flagged from the incident at the Chinese restaurant on 52nd Street, but they seem to be very hostile towards me. We'll get into that maybe later.
Yeah.
But
How are
yeah,
you
I was
introduced to
flattered.
this dish? Because the dish, the name itself does not jump off the menu. I
No,
would
it
never
does
have
not.
thought to try it until this show came along.
Well, I find that for most things, you are underwhelmed by everything, and I have never seen you excited about anything whatsoever.
That's
So
a
I never
fair, that's a
expect you to
fair
like.
description. I accept that.
That's in Mike's Tinder profile,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah. Underwhelmed by life.
The-
Yes.
The
That
underwhelmable Michael Lesk. I usually change your
Unexcitable.
name. Yeah,
the
but-
unexcitable boy.
right, unexcitable, underwhelmed. I think you you gave your boss who wrote his biography, you gave him 3 stars.
I
or 4
can't
stars
remember
or
jumping
something.
up and down. Seriously. I can't remember
Yeah,
jumping
right.
up and down.
Right. The guy who writes your paycheck, and you told him his book, yeah, it was okay. So I never really expected you to like this or understand it, but you did understand me at the bar, which
Okay.
I found patronizing. I never thought you really did.
Well,
But I
let
did
me say,
appreciate in my drunken.
after that introduction,
Yes.
I will just launch into my what happened with this dish with me. After your buildup, of course, you
Go
know,
right ahead, sir.
the expectations
Well,
were
to be
great.
fair, he didn't build up your eating the chicken.
No,
Right.
no, but he built up the
Thank you.
dish. You
Just
know,
being fair,
and
Mike. Just
I
being
guess
fair,
maybe,
Mike. That's all. That's all.
and,
That's
and
all.
to his credit,
all.
maybe I did not get the proper thickness, and maybe that spoiled my dish. But I
Well, if
would,
you have to ask for it.
yeah.
mean,
Yeah, no, I'm just getting in with this new place I'm going to. I don't want to, you know, be the difficult customer.
because, and I'm going to keep on interrupting. you, Mike, don't worry. Obviously,
Please do. Yeah.
Jim,
Go ahead.
you liked this dish already, and then you said that sauce should be thick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Mike.
But I can't explain that to the alleged chefs. But go ahead, Mike. You state your case.
Alleged
Well-
chefs. Oh, let's stay here.
Well,
Let
the
me see
thing
if I
is,
can get an international incident going here.
well, thickness of sauce is always going to be subjective, right? It's always going to be
That's what the
subjective.
girls tell me, Mike. Thickness
Yes.
is subjective.
Well, no, that's inches. We can deal with that. There's no
By,
objective
by
way
the
of
girls, I
testing the
mean one woman
thickness.
during a fire alarm at Stubbs Hall in 1992. But whatever.
I don't know what
Well,
that was.
yes, you are right. You're right in the sense that it is subjective, but you know, you don't want something that's watery and has no flavor. And when I consistently say make it thicker, it just becomes an issue of frustration. And I think they silently are happy when I leave angry.
Is,
And
is
You
there
know what you
a-
should do?
is there a comparison to the viscosity? of what you like.
Viscosity, yeah. If I get, Greg, come on, Greg, if I can't get him to understand thick, you think viscosity is gonna go overwhelm?
No,
Go
I don't
over
mean
well
them.
with
I mean, to you, for our purposes, could you compare another liquid's viscosity, which is a word I use every 8
Yes.
minutes?
Yes, I've shown the picture of motor oil and I've said, make it like this, and I get the same blank stare.
Why don't you
You
just bring
know,
in real
so-
motor oil?
Yeah. Why didn't you
Well,
just
I-
once
And
you got it
make
to
have a
perfection?
finger in it.
Once you got it to perfection, you should have put it in a test tube as a sample for going to you'll have it in a test tube for every trip you make to takeout restaurants.
It's like, I saw
No.
yesterday, you know what I saw? A life hack. Next time you paint a room, which I will never do, but next time you or someone you know paints a room and you're worried that you'll forget the exact paint on the wall, on the outlet,
Yeah.
unscrew the outlet cover on your wall and just take a marker, write the exact Pantone color number and everything, screw the plate back in there. So years after that, when you want to paint again, you got the Sherman-Williams number. I don't remember why the hell I was talking about paint. Oh, the test tube. Sorry.
Viscosity, yes.
Mike, don't be using those big words.
Okay,
Fine.
well, Michael,
Mike, I can pull those words.
I will-
I can pull that off. You can't.
true. But as anybody knows who's had any kind of Chinese food, you leave it sitting for more than 30 minutes and it becomes a different thing. So saving black bean sauce really isn't going to work out because it's a different food 30 minutes later. It's really, really different. It becomes like a jelly, and I wouldn't recommend it. No.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
I
just like
tried-
you can't reheat Chinese food.
So my
What?
first experience with this dish was, as you predicted, underwhelming. And after hearing
boy. Life
you go
underwhelms
on
you,
about the
Michael.
sauce, I even got to the point where, all right, there's a little pool of sauce at the bottom of this thing. I'm going to literally slurp this thing, so I get the full
Oh.
effect.
Family
the
show,
sauce.
Mike. Family show, bro.
I slurped the sauce. I did.
Whoa.
I slurped the sauce.
.com.
And I'm glad you
Well,
said
there you
gingery.
go.
I'm glad you said gingery because that was the taste that I got. A gingery
Mike,
flavor.
1-800 lick the sauce. $3.99 for the first minute.
Uh-huh.
It's Mike pays you every minute after that.
I even tried a bean, and the beans are tiny. I wouldn't say
Mike, are you going to
microscopic.
ask me what I'm wearing?
I wouldn't say they're microscopic, but they're tiny. And my beans were not particularly flavorful.
Well, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
I know that you said these beans are smaller, but are they still technically the same black beans or a whole different bean? They just call them black beans?
No, they are a completely different bean.
Okay.
Very different. Yeah. So,
Sorry,
but
Mike,
see,
keep going.
Michael, there is the problem because the sauce that I'm talking about, you can't slurp it. It's very, very thick. So I don't know what restaurant you went to, but I'm sure the little children, the owner's kids were playing there. I'm sure if they had a table, it was very, very sticky. And I'm sure
I think
that
the
their
tables
main
are very
dish was
clean there.
chicken wings.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, I don't know what level of sobriety you were at this fine establishment, but I'm sure you didn't pay more than $8.99 for your delicacy.
So after the disappointing taste of the sauce, I dug into the rest of the
Uh-huh.
dish. I had a fair amount of chicken. I had peppers.
Yeah,
I had carrots.
right,
I had the baby corn.
right.
And I had what must have
Okay.
been at least a half an onion. I mean,
Right.
there was so much onion in my dish. I was like, did they dump a French onion soup in this or what's going on?
Bam.
Yeah, no, it was
Okay.
edible. I have nothing against all those vegetables, but underwhelming overall. Greg?
Okay, problem number two. This is
Um,
problem number two.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead, Greg. No, go ahead.
Yeah, probably the same as Mike. I wouldn't, underwhelmed. I just wasn't. Now I am, unlike Mike, I every once in a while I do crack a smile and I'm joy with things. But Yeah, this was fine. It was just, you know, like I said about a couple of our other dishes. It seems to be, you know, protein, bunch of veggies and some glop. I did not like my sauce. Now I don't love garlic anyway, which is gonna get me in trouble a lot on this as we go through the Chinese.
Isn't that
menu.
garlic in
I know
yours?
this. But it just seemed like another one of these things where would I ever order it again? Would I ever think of it again? No. If it showed up and you were like, here's some chicken and black bean sauce, eat it. That's all we have. I'd eat it and I'd be perfectly fine. You know, it was okay, but yeah, nothing better than some of the dishes we've had. Not great, but that's fine. Yeah.
Overall rating?
Okay.
Oh, you know, I'd have to compare with the. You go first. I'm gonna look at my other scores because it's a specific category I'm finding of this whole. You know, it's
gonna
okay,
give it a
but I
5.
wouldn't really think of it again.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 5. Not objectionable, but not something I would go to again unless I was really in the mood for lots of onions.
I'm gonna give it a 5.5. I'm with you in that it was fine, nothing too bad. I'm giving it an extra 0.5 because it looks like Jimmy's about to have a stroke or something. when you're telling him You didn't love it, so
Oh,
I'm gonna give
man.
I'm gonna give it a
Yeah,
5.5.
wait a second. That was like the perfect segue, and I don't think Greg even realized.
Are we not
Yeah.
supposed to make stroke jokes?
No, it's fine. I love
That's
it.
your cue.
Yes, it is. But I want to
Speaking of strokes,
Actually,
speaking
to be
of
honest,
strokes,
no, to be fair, I did not think of that. I didn't know that, so I'm.
No, that's fine. No, I had a stroke 3 weeks ago, and I was probably never going to walk or talk again. But I believe in Jesus, and here I am, because I couldn't not do this show, so I had to survive. Anyway, I want to qualify this. I want to skip past the stroke joke. It's fine with me. I want to qualify this. I want to go right past the fact that I almost died, and I want to talk about this is my other problem with the chicken with black bean sauce. The filler, they throw in so many vegetables and so much other stuff that it becomes not about the chicken with black bean sauce.
Well, that's a lot of dishes we're finding, yeah.
Yeah, so I will throw this out to you.
I hope somebody's keeping track of how many times Greg's dishes have contained glop, because it seems to be his go-to description for just about everything we've tried.
Well, I am a writer.
Wow, with that kind of eloquence, I don't understand why you're not on the bestseller list.
That's a miracle.
But I know, right? But I would say, how long does it take you when you get your takeaway from picking it up to getting home?
I mean, it's pretty hot. Everything I've gotten is delivered, but it's been pretty hot. Like I don't feel like I've had a problem.
Really?
Okay. I don't know.
I picked mine up, and it's about a 5-minute drive.
Okay. I was thinking maybe it took like too long, and by the time you got it, it was turning into the jelly that I was talking about before.
No.
But I'll throw this out there. How about we try it again, order just chicken with black bean sauce, no vegetables, no filler, and try to somehow convince the person you're ordering to make the sauce thick. I've even gone to the point where I have chicken and black bean sauce in my house. I'd go find it, but it would take too long. And I add it in because I can't take this anymore. I have to actually add it into the chicken.
Do you literally tell them no vegetables?
Yes. Yes.
You tell them no vegetables.
No vegetables. And
I've done
in
that
the
with
old
lo
days at
mein.
H&H. Well, in the old days at H&H, most of those vegetables would wind up on the floor anyway. So Mike would be the bartender, and my food would come, and Mike would take out the pizza tray that they would serve pizzas on, and he would put the tray under me so that all the food that didn't make it into my mouth would somehow wind up on the pizza tray and on the floor.
I've never seen anybody. I mean, of course, there was alcohol involved. And, alcohol, and eating can be problematic. But Jimmy would sit there, he would have something simple like fried rice, and half the rice would end up on the floor. And is he going to sweep it up? No,
Yeah.
Mike is going to sweep it up.
Mike's got to
No,
sweep
he-
it up.
Yeah, Mike's going to sweep it up.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, so they decided to give him the pizza tray, thinking that might catch a lot, but it didn't. He still managed.
Nope.
It was literally like he was shoveling the food, and it was just like pelting his face, and he was hoping that
Sure.
most of it went into his open mouth.
Well, if I were in that situation and I looked down the bar and you were crawling around picking up my food that I couldn't bother to get in my mouth, I'd probably be a dick and like throw a quarter on the floor at you.
Oh man.
Oh, here you go,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that
Greg,
know-
where were you when I was going there? I need these kind of tips.
now
These
that
life
is
tips.
Bayonne behavior. So yeah, you would have fit right in.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't think I would have to tell some
Oh, yeah.
Jersey guys this, but yeah, that's what I would have done. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So
Hey,
back to,
Mike,
I'm
some
sorry,
of
back
the
to your,
food-
back to your stroke. Sorry.
You know what? That
you want to
segue
go back to the stroke?
where you sort of unwittingly made reference to without knowing, you did not know that Jimmy had
No apologies.
a brush with
no,
stroke with a
please don't.
stroke 3 weeks ago. Yeah,
Sure.
it was touch and
Yeah.
go. Why don't you fill us in, Jim?
Oh yeah, this doesn't go over well on a food show.
It goes with
Yeah.
our demographic.
We're celebrating now.
Yeah. Okay, what are we going to talk about? Hospital food, the pudding, and the
This is a
the
story of
slop that they
redemption.
served me for 3 days?
Yeah,
Oh, a story of redemption.
yeah.
Yes, Jesus saved me. The
I-
Bible and the religion channel on the TV told me so, right?
But you felt something
yeah,
coming
it's very
on.
exciting.
Your body was reacting in a way you had no idea what was going on. You were in a meeting.
Well, I went to Hudaco's and I saw the girl that I'm secretly in love with, and my heart started beating fast. And then I went to an AA meeting and I saw the other girl that I had a secret crush on, and my heart started beating faster.
Are we going
And
to
I
blame
knew
women for
something
this,
was
Jimmy?
wrong.
Because I
Yeah,
got to
come
be
on.
honest.
Come on, yeah, let's keep
two
the
of
women
our
out of it.
listeners, two of
Yeah.
our listeners are women.
Oh yeah,
Two of our listeners
Well,
are women.
I'm joking.
They're
None of
just-
No,
us.
I actually know
beyond-
one. I know one. No,
None of our
actually, I think I
listeners are
know
women.
two. I know two women.
They're barely men.
And they're not. They're good
I
women.
think isn't Chuck from Virginia? Didn't he used to be a woman?
Still counts.
Okay. Anyway,
That's
yeah,
JoJo.
okay, still count. Okay, but no, they're just beyond beautiful, and they're creatures of God. So
Can
just
they
made
be
my
on
heart
this?
stop, and then I felt just weird, this wrong. I knew there was something wrong. I got over to the ER, and they said that something about a golden hour. If I didn't get there, oh, there's a picture of the girl I'm looking at. If I didn't get there within the golden hour, that it would have been very tragic and everything. And my whole right side was paralyzed. And like Monday night, I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. It was really, really touch and go there. And then by Wednesday, I was completely better. I was healed. And I believe it was the power of Jesus. And the fact that I had to do this show. So thank you for booking me.
Yeah, you want to. You
How much
want
damage
to.
do you think Jesus could do if people were standing around like, where the hell's our Chinese food? Like, could he turn
don't know.
a loaf of bread into a Chinese feast for 50?
That
And
is
if
a
he
good
did that-
question. What Chinese dish?
And if he did that, would Mike still be underwhelmed?
No,
I
What?
think if,
no.
if Mike was
This is
there,
a good question.
wait, hold on, Mike. Hang on, Mike.
This is
If
theological.
Mike was there, okay, if Mike was there and Jesus turned all that water into wine and all that fish, Mike would be like, yeah, okay, but I've seen that done before. That wouldn't even impress you then, right, Mike?
No, that would be impressive.
See?
Springsteen would have done it better.
Yeah.
No, but what-
Yeah.
But that's a good question. What dish, if Jesus was going to feed the masses, the multitudes, what Chinese takeout dish would he feed them? I say chicken with broccoli.
Yeesh.
Greg,
Are you saying Jesus was even more boring than we think he is? What?
he's got to please everyone. He's got to
Chicken with
please
broccoli.
everyone.
Well, who
What
thinks
would
of
he-
broccoli? When you think of please everyone, who thinks of broccoli?
I think of broccoli.
I think
It's the
Jesus.
universal vegetable. Everybody knows that.
I think if Jesus was the Son of God, he knows everything. Then he knows the same as I know. If you want to settle these fucking people down, they're
Here it comes,
panicking.
here it comes.
Then what you need is a nice big old batch of egg foo young.
Yeah,
One
I saw it
patty for
coming.
every
Oh,
person.
look at that.
I saw it coming.
Nice thing of gravy. Well, guess
tied the
what?
whole
It's
show in.
eggs. Eggs are good for you. Eggs. Jesus, you get a lot of eggs pretty quickly.
Okay. Well, I think if Jesus was truly the Son of God, he would be the only person that could get these bastards to make chicken with black bean sauce thick. So that's what I say. He could actually get them to do what I've been asking them to do for the last 35 years. That's what I think.
A miracle.
I was going to
living
make a
Yes,
miracle.
it
joke
would
about
have to be.
I was going to say something about Jesus would say, F China and get us all cheeseburgers or pizza for America. But I know, and Jimmy called them all bastards. So I don't know.
I was picturing an
Can you
international audience. So, you know,
We are dancing on lasers with this one.
I'm thinking
Mike,
what would
when
be
you hit
most
post
pleasing.
on this one,
What
take a
would
second. That's all I'm saying.
what would be most pleasing to the most people? Of course, you're gonna have people complaining. People are complainers. That's all they do.
Oh, because they were Jewish? Is that what you're saying,
No,
Mike?
no, please, let's not go there.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
2022.
Here we go.
2022.
Mm.
I just watched the Phantom
Mhm.
Menace. Very, very horrible depictions, racial depictions of characters in that movie.
Are they all not even human?
Can you get
But you can tell
Can
what
you get
humans they're model.
Wait, are you saying you could tell a robot's ethnicity by their voice?
Jar Jar?
Mike, come on.
The Jar Jar?
Oh, come on, because he had the big nose. I don't like this. I don't like this.
Yeah, the engine dealer, the guy who they had to go to for parts on Tatooine.
Oh, just because he was trying to get a bargain.
I'm
I
going
don't like
into
where
a
you're going
dead
with this,
zone
Michael.
with my Star Wars references.
You're digging a grave here.
Yeah, no,
Digging a
I
grave.
you know, I don't want to go there either. Star Wars is not
Yeah.
my particular thing, but for whatever reason, I
I
felt
mean,
like
luckily, I don't, nothing, nobody knows less about Star Wars than me, so I'm trying to be racist here, but I can't. So
how many Star
Well,
Wars
leave
movies
those
have you
bullshit-
seen, Greg?
I've seen the 3 normal ones.
The 3 normal ones. Okay. I saw the 3 normal ones in the movie theaters. I haven't seen them again. And I think I saw the Phantom Menace once before, but it was such a bad memory. I was like, maybe I was wrong. All these nerds. I was out at the reservoir on Saturday. I do a little walk. I go for walks and it sort of calms me down. And I'm out on this walk. I passed 2 people with Star Wars t-shirts on. I mean, what are the odds? It's over 90 degrees out. There weren't that many people on the trail to begin with. And 2 people had Star Wars shirts on. I'm like, what the hell?
2 different people or 2 people together?
Separate people.
Okay.
Yeah. Wasn't a Star Wars couple. I know they exist.
Yeah. I mean, Star Wars being Star Wars, I don't know if I'd be shocked at running into people like that. I'd be surprised. It's not like somebody's walking up with a egg for what t-shirt, but that's pretty, I don't know.
When I saw those movies in the theater, I never thought for the life of me that we'd be talking about Star Wars. What is it, 40 years now?
Yeah.
35?
Well, you always heard that rumor. When I was a kid, you always heard that rumor. Ooh, George Lucas, he says he's planned 9 of these.
Oh, yeah, they kept teasing. Yeah.
Well, I
Lots
feel
of
like that
teasing
was a
going on.
rumor when I was a kid, which immediately renders it stupid and untrue. But then all these years later, it's like, oh shit, I guess he did have 9 planned this whole time.
And then it just
Is George
became
Lucas the first person to ever say he's gonna do something and then go out and fucking do it?
well, he didn't do 9. He did 3. He he never got to those last 3. There was
Yeah,
supposed to be 3 before and then 3 after.
Well, I
And,
know there's 1 after, because actually I got dragged to that for a work outing at 9 in the morning. So I did see the or the
Ye-
newest one?
Yeah, they did those two other ones, but I mean, he wasn't
Weren't there three?
involved at that
There
point,
weren't three?
right?
I know there's a one. Weren't there more after that?
Rogue and then the Last Jedi. Yeah, there were a couple. I sort of lost track, but I think he
Okay.
was out of the picture by then. You know, after like the stilted dialogue in those first three.
But
they're
the
like,
thing is, he even back then everybody said he had planned the 9. So
yeah.
whether or not he did the 9,
Mhm.
I think in order to make what I said correct, and therefore by me right, he planned for 9, which I thought is crazy and remarkable looking back.
And having read recently, I read Dune and
Oh.
saw the remake. I watched the earlier one again, and having just watched Star Trek, the original series.
I've seen your tweet. Now let me. I've enjoyed your tweets on this because I've always said I think I would like the first Star Trek because it seems like it was made for like $11 a week, a year. Like the
Yeah,
budget,
it's cheap.
which I like,
Yeah.
that's appealing to me. But every time I say that, I immediately forget it and then do anything else. So, but
Well,
I enjoyed your tweeting.
my brother was a big fan. He was a
Yeah.
full-on Trekkie. He had the manual to the thing. He had models. You know, he was full on. So the show was always on in our house, and I thought, like, watching it, that I would remember a lot of these episodes. I hardly remembered any of them. I remembered one with
It was
like
the 60s, bro. It was different.
Yeah,
Nobody-
I mean,
you
but
don't
I guess
remember- nobody remembers the 60s.
I guess it was on in the background. My brother was concentrating. He was watching the shows, and I was just running up back and forth with the show on in the background, because I remembered about two episodes. The one with the guys with the big brains. We called them the buttheads. We were ahead of the curve on that. And
Nice.
the one with who's the brother of Opie,
Clint
Right,
Howard.
Howard?
Clint Howard.
Clint Howard.
I remembered the Clint Howard episode. I remembered the episode with Kim Darby and who was the little young guy in Bonnie and Clyde with the pug nose.
Oh,
Great character
Michael
actor.
something.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Michael something.
Yeah. So I remembered about 3 episodes. And I would say this, the show is still entertaining. You know, William Shatner is overacting. It gets worse as it goes along.
I like that.
The third season, he's just like out of control. There's like multiple episodes where he gets to play 2 characters, like the good Kirk and the bad Kirk, and you know, he plays a woman. He plays a woman in one episode.
taking
You
away
know,
jobs, not cool.
You know,
Shabba.
he has like a Freaky Friday experience, and a woman takes over his body, and you know, on paper that sounds like hysterical, but
Not
he didn't.
really.
He was somewhat restrained in that particular episode. It
Huh.
could have been great, but
Have you watched all of them at this point?
Yeah, I watched. Well, there's only 3 seasons.
That's another thing I was going to ask. To someone like me who it seems like there were a million of them because it seems like it was just always there, but they only did 3 seasons, right? Like
Yeah, but there were long seasons.
72.
There's
72?
there's
72.
for the first 2 seasons, I think they have like 30 episodes each. So it's all told, it's about 90 something episodes.
72.
There's 72.
Yes.
That sounds low to me, to tell you the truth, but I'm going to let it stand.
Well,
I'll Google it after the show.
Do you want me to pull out the box sets?
I have the box set. Are there extras on there that I should be watching? Kirk commentaries,
There's
William
plenty of
Shatner.
extras, plenty of behind it.
Do
Yes.
they hate each other at the end
It's
of that?
mostly
William Shatner.
it's
and
mostly
Nimoy?
George Takei. It's mostly George Takei complaining about William Shatner.
Really? No,
Mhm.
you're bullshitting me. You're just trying to
course
make
I
me to
am.
watch those commentaries.
Yeah, of course.
Well, the lady,
William Shatner.
one of them just died, right? One of the
Yeah,
main
yeah, it's a weird coincidence. Yeah,
Lieutenant
Lieutenant
Uhura.
Uhura. Yeah, Nicole
what was her name?
Nichols.
Nichols.
Nicole
You're right.
Nichols.
Yes, Nicole Nichols passed away.
Michelle Nichols.
Was
Yeah,
she in anything
Nichelle.
else? or-
Nichelle. What am I saying? Yes.
Yes. She was going to
I
quit the
really know
show,
her.
and Martin Luther King. She was going to quit the show. Martin Luther King told her to stay on the show because you're representing Black people. It was the first interracial kiss on television.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that was her. Okay. I've always heard about that kiss. I didn't connect it was her last week or whatever. Yeah.
And they had to make it. They had to make it in the future, and they had to make it that they were forced to kiss. So
Yeah,
that they
that's
could
the
get away with it.
weird. Yeah. There's somebody doing mind tricks on Kirk, and he makes her
Yeah.
kiss. Yeah,
What was,
the,
was
the
the,
mind tricks make him kiss her.
how did you remember that Roseanne episode where they found out DJ didn't want to kiss a girl on the school play because she was black? Remember that?
Now there's a show I never watched.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was plenty of 12-year-old little boys that wanted to kiss Nicole Nichols, Lieutenant Uhura. I'll tell you that, Ramon.
yeah.
I was one of them.
Jimmy, I got to be honest.
And that green girl,
started
too.
out with when you
green
started
girl.
out with 12-year-old boys, I did clench a second. I did worry, but you pulled through that one, smooth sailing, beautifully done.
Thank you very much. So then I won't get into the green girl because that could be going into a dangerous
Yeah,
area.
And in the third season,
actually, the green girl would be less dangerous than the black girl, but let's take the win and move on.
there was a very attractive green girl on Lost in Space as well.
Well, wasn't the green girl Yvonne Craig?
Yes, on Star Trek. Yes. Well, what do you remember the green girl on Lost in Space? She was a favorite of mine.
No.
You don't remember her?
No.
Dr.
No.
Smith. Dr. Smith.
Oh God, Mike.
Yeah. Well, now we're getting into the area of the 12-year-old boys that I think we don't want to. Dr. Smith, I met him at a Chiller Theater, and he was everything you don't want in a man stuck in a spaceship with a 12-year-old boy.
Is he still alive? Is he still alive?
He is. No, he has passed. But he was every bit as flamboyant in person as he was on the spaceship. And I think that robot was yelling, "Warning, warning," and it wasn't about the intruders outside the spaceship.
And I'll say this. I mean, Star Wars ripped off so many things. It ripped off Dune. Now that I've seen Star Trek, it rips off Star Trek. There's a whole bit in Phantom Menace where they're having troubles with the engine. And that's like every other episode in Star Trek.
Well, every time they call him on it, and I'm trying to sound like I'm some Star Wars scholar. I feel like every time they call him on it, like, oh, wasn't this something in some other? He always brings it back further and further. No, there was a Japanese folktale in 200 BC that there was a tale that somebody's cousin told a mother.
Oh yeah, he tries to make it part of the myth.
And, yeah.
Joseph Campbell, Joseph Campbell.
Joseph Campbell is Star Wars. George Lucas admits it. But all the answers to life are contained in Star Trek, Michael, except for season 3 when they ran out of money.
But I'll say this about season 3. Maybe this will entice you, Greg. Season 3, they get one sort of more beautiful woman guest starring in every episode, as an alien,
right? Just
to keep, men watching.
Well, that's a good appeal to me, Mike. But I do have the internet in my hands, so this antiquated notion of I'm going to watch a show hoping some beautiful woman walks on screen. Mike, come on.
But
but after
saying it's there, if you want to take that journey,
yeah,
it's there.
After watching you tweeting about it, it did remind me. Maybe I will go down a. Every couple of years it occurs to me. I just never do it, but
I'm not going to go into I'm not going to go beyond the original season now.
That was going to be my next question.
No way. I'm cutting my losses.
There is.
I've seen Captain Kirk get into a fist fight on every planet in the universe.
Yikes.
I mean, there's lots of fist fights.
Well, Captain Kirk had a big fight with a lizard. That was exciting. But the best episode ever.
That is the best
City
episode.
on the Edge of Forever. Yes. But City on the Edge of Forever is written by Harlan Ellison, and he's a great science fiction writer. And you probably know him and probably disapprove of him, Michael. But it's a great episode. They go back in time, and it's really interesting.
Actually,
deals
the,
with
the,
racism.
the ones
and
that
Mr.
sort of
Spock
did
and
that
his-
were kind of bad. The ones they went back to a Western, they went back to Nazi Germany. I
Yes,
mean,
yes,
It's a good
yes, they went
idea.
back to
those,
Nazi Germany.
those were
It's a good
the worst
idea. It's a
ones.
good premise.
The best
But
episodes are
this
when
is season 1 when they had money. The season 3 is when they had no money, so they kind of stayed on the same lot, and they just had the good-looking girls. This
Yeah.
is season 1.
How did they
written
have?
by
Did
a
they?
very
Did they
good
have
director.
less money? How did they? I
well,
mean, it was a hit show, right? Like
no, it wasn't a
or
hit
wasn't
show.
it?
That's why it
No, it
ended after
wasn't.
3
Oh,
seasons.
okay.
Right.
That makes sense, actually. Yeah.
And they moved
Yeah.
it to like a worse time slot, apparently,
Yeah,
just
Was
when it was
Friday night,
picking up
10 o'clock.
momentum. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it struggled. I'll
Mhm.
say this: it's entertaining. I was entertained. I made the whole journey.
Yeah.
So
You've inspired me, although I think I'd be hard pressed to name. I'm not a science fiction guy at all. It'd be hard for me to. I mean, I like Star Wars as a kid, but everything I can't get in. I'm not a science fiction guy, but you've inspired me, Mike.
okay, I'm glad I inspired somebody.
If
That's
you
my
ever
goal.
want to piss off a Star Wars guy, just make Star Trek references to them. They get violent. They get really, really violent.
That does
Well,
sound great.
it's
to me.
so
Thank you.
obvious. I mean, all you have to do is look at Star Trek, and you're like, oh, okay, this is what Star Trek. This is, and the other big nerd thing I have seen is Battlestar Galactica, and that basically
Oh, yeah.
said,
Hold on. I like us making fun of nerds. Yeah.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Battlestar Galactica. It comes after both of them, right? So what they said is like, Eureka! Let's mix Star Wars with Star Trek, and that's what Battlestar Galactica
Right.
is.
Yeah.
It's just they mash. It's a mashup.
I mean, look, we have to dance on lasers every week to not piss off an entire nation of people. And now I'm worried about the Star Wars people coming after us.
Yeah.
We've
Well,
we've
bring 'em on.
avoided
Well, then we can
outraging
just
China.
pass Space
I really don't want
1999.
outraged Star Wars fanboys.
Well, we could all tie it in and say that all the toys were made in China, and then have a happy ending.
They are, and the toys
Oh, I
make,
didn't mean that.
No,
the
I'll
toys
give you
make
a
more
happy
money.
ending.
The toys make more money
Happy
than the
ending, right?
movies.
Yeah. Thank you for catching on to that.
Did I hear the crinkle
Thank
of
you for
your?
catching on.
You heard
fortune
the
cookie, Mike?
crinkle. I'm about to
Well, that reminds me,
Crinkle,
I do not have
crinkle.
my fortune cookie.
you don't have a fortune cookie.
Well, I think we know why, and I don't think you want me to broadcast it to our fan.
Again, this episode was such a struggle.
I
I
can't
think
wait
it may,
to see the behind the music about it.
yeah. There's got to be a behind the scenes on this episode
Lift
alone.
was going for something cinematic here.
Although we have some
Yeah.
extra content, I could possibly post some of the extra content.
Oh,
this-
there you go.
If,
Some
if
outtakes.
this
People
is a
love that
hit
shit.
and the people
Sure.
demand it, I'm sure the
Yeah.
people are going to be clamoring for it. What? There's extra content we don't know about?
If outrage level reaches high enough, we'll give them some dribs and drabs.
You don't have a fortune cookie, do you,
Yeah,
Jim?
I mean- No, I do not. I heard crinkle, crinkle, and I thought you were making a Jim Norton reference. So I don't know.
This is a weird one. As the
Yeah.
purse is emptied, the heart is filled.
Well, keep it to yourself, Mike. Don't read it out loud.
Why? It doesn't come true if you read it out loud.
I know, really.
I'll read one for
don't
Greg.
tell me
just-
his dial-up went away again.
Mike, if we lost you again, I'm not fucking.
and I'll read one for Greg. Greg, this is going out to you.
Replacement showed up like twice. The show got canceled. They come back for the third time, and Paul says something like, "Well, this heart better fucking work because we're not coming back again." So,
This one goes
Is
out
that
to
where
you, Greg. and It's a
dyslexia
good one.
came from?
did we stop recording?
No, we're still going, man.
Okay.
We powered through.
It said stop recording.
No, but
Oh,
it came
said
back.
stop.
It's recording now.
I'm gonna give a little treat for our fans out there.
Oh, yeah?
Little homework for this week.
Uh-huh.
If they look at your picture, I'm looking at it right now on the
Yeah.
screen. I see a crab with big googly eyes and crazy legs sticking out, crab legs sticking out front.
Okay. All right.
Y'all see it or no?
Okay. A little Rorschach.
Yeah. Well,
It
not
kinda
even
looks
Rorschach.
like
It looks
crab.
like a crab, big googly eyeballs, crazy legs.
Uh-huh.
If you see
Yeah.
it, you do. If not,
The legs are on the right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
You
study
see
it
that
after the
looks like-
show.
crab arms on the bottom, like the bottom middle, looks like a crab arm, grabby,
Yeah.
crab hand. I challenge
looks
our
like he's
viewers
got a
this,
Nike-
first person
Yeah.
to write in and explain why there's a crab there and write a 2,000-word story about that crab wins a prize from Egg Foo What?
Well, looking at your fortune, I'm dedicating this to you, Greg. Don't worry. Prosperity will knock on your door soon. There you go.
What do you mean, especially me? What, am I poorer than everyone else? You know what?
No,
What's that
no,
mean?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
What is that?
that's a good one. I wish I
This
got
one's
that
for
one
you, Greg.
instead of the one with the
Stop
purse.
being an
Oh, really?
asshole.
No,
Nobody
I
likes-
read my
Right.
fortune and now I'm reading yours.
Okay. I do not have mine. Jimmy, you're up.
Okay.
Do you have a fortune?
No, you know,
I do not have
Everybody's
a fortune. I
unprepared.
don't believe in them. Yeah,
he's
what do they
unprepared.
say? You will come into money soon. You know,
Uh-huh.
come on. I do think that that crab looks like Cartman to me, and has like a little Nike tattoo on his right arm.
Could be.
That's just my take on it. Yeah, yeah. So what is the prize? What do they win? Star Trek DVD season 3?
I was gonna say 7 minutes in heaven with Mike, but
7 minutes in heaven.
6.5 will be
we've seen how
complaining.
Mike works. They might need more than the 7 minutes. Let's be
Uh-huh.
honest. It's gonna take, he's gonna bumble around.
Do we
2
want to
minutes
select?
of bliss and 5 minutes of complaining.
Yeah.
Do we want to
well,
select a dish for next time, Greg? Which may be later this week.
I don't have one picked already. Do you have one or?
Well, we haven't done the used to be the people's choice, but we haven't done it, and I haven't had it in a very long time. Chow mein.
Okay.
You want to go with, what are you going to go? Roast pork chow mein?
Did we not already do chow mein?
No,
I'll do chow mein.
we've talked about it quite a bit. It used to be like the go-to for a lot of people, but I think it's fallen out of favor.
Right.
I'll probably go with the house special chow mein,
I'm sure I'll do roast beef.
roast beef.
yeah.
All right,
Alright,
roast
so
beef.
we,
Hey, you guys,
we made it to the end.
say,
We didn't think we would. We made it to the end. Here, let's give ourselves a.
Yeah, really. You guys say you have a lot of Elvis fans. Did you ever consider like doing some Elvis cuisine, like his peanut butter and banana sandwiches, or his
Well,
heart-stopping
Well, we'll get through,
delicacies?
once we get through the whole Chinese cuisine, we'll pick up that
So,
idea.
what are you doing? Like diner, the left side of the menu?
we could do the diner thing. We could do the
Okay.
Well,
pizzeria
from what
thing.
I've seen on the Chinese menu, we've got a ways to go.
Yeah, we've got a ways
Yeah,
to go.
that's true. Are you
Um,
going by number or just by
No,
potluck?
I don't know anybody who uses those numbers. Yeah, the numbers on takeout menus, I mean, it's a bit much.
That's what we should do. Call up and just say, I'd like a number 11. Just hang up.
Yeah. See what
And
happens.
see an hour later if a number 11, if the right order shows up at your door.
I mean, my numbering on mine has letters as well. So not only could you order
Oh.
the 12, you can order 12A, B, and D. Where's
Yeah,
the
fuck that.
12C? There's no 12C.
Just hopefully there won't be a child standing at your door.
What if I call up and say I want to order 12C and then hang up? Chaos ensues.
All right.
You ordered the
Well, if I
12C.
can't get him-
Dear God.
you
First,
can't get him
first Jim with his
word.
stroke, and now you having to read 12C. I mean,
12C.
we can't take our listeners on too much of a roller coaster here, guys.
I want
Really?
to thank Jim personally for
Yep.
plowing through, persevering through that golden hour, and remaining alive for this show. I thanked him right in
I
the
feel like
text.
I
Can you read
feel
the
like
text?
I've gone through.
My first text to you while you lay in the hospital.
Yes, and I like the fact that even though I had a stroke, you still insisted that I respond to you. And going through this, I feel like I've gone through a second stroke, and I thank you. It's been a very pleasant experience,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
and I don't look forward to doing it again.
This is-
Frankly,
this
I
is-
don't know
It's been
how.
very nice.
I'll ever get you two guys in the room again. It was again, it was impossible, but it happened. We're at the end of this show. I want to thank you for being
Yeah.
alive,
It was
Jim.
very enjoyable. Thank
We
you.
had a good
Thank
time.
you. Thank you.
Jim, thank
Greg,
you
as
for
always.
thanks for jumping in and guest starring with us. We're glad you're alive.
Thank you, Greg.
and,
I look forward to your books. What are your books? What are they called? What are the names? I'll look them up.
You have to read Williamsburg Rats
Yeah.
first. That's his
Okay.
first book.
Yeah.
It's on
Okay.
Amazon. You can get the electronic version. Read it on your phone.
Okay. And it's
Uh,
under Greg Wilson.
Yeah.
I compared the lead
Gregory R.
character.
Wilson. No.
You've read the Confederacy,
okay.
a Confederacy of Dunces, right?
Oh, sure. 3 times.
Yeah, the Williamsburg Rats. What? You've never read that book? You'd enjoy it.
Don't read
Seriously.
that book, Jim. It sucks.
It's good. It's funny. Although I haven't read it since it came out. I had a
He
good
just
time
had a
with it.
stroke, Mike. He's not going to waste his time
Really?
reading the Confederacy of Dunces.
I'm trying to, steer him in direction of your book, Greg.
Oh,
A lot
that's
of people
right.
have
I'm
read
sorry.
that book, and I think people who enjoyed that book would enjoy Greg's book.
That's true. Buy my
Well,
book.
let me start off with Greg's and then I'll work my way into it. I had a hard time getting through the Tom Sharpling ordeal. So let me go one thing at a time. So
Okay.
let me work on Greg Wilson's
Yeah.
book, available on Amazon.
There you
And
go.
what's it called?
Williamsburg
What's
Rats.
it called?
And he's got
William-
a new one.
Okay,
Williamsburg Rats.
And the new one
Williamsburg
is called
Rats.
Wedding Parties.
The wedding parties.
Wedding Party.
Oh, there's a the in there?
Okay.
Don't try to rewrite this shit, Mike. It's already printed.
Is the necessary?
The wedding parties.
Okay.
Okay.
fuck?
Now, Greg, Mike, your co-host, did he give you 2 stars, 3 stars? I mean,
No,
was he underwhelmed by
I
this as
gave
well?
Williamsburg Rats 4 stars.
Out of 100.
Whoa.
4 stars.
Wow.
Yeah,
From Mike, this is a rave.
Yeah.
it is a rate.
Wow.
Don't think I'm not milking
It
that
must
for a
be
while.
really- I really got to get it now because it must be fantastic if Mike gave it 4 stars.
Yeah, he
I-
said
I-
It
four.
must be amazing.
He
I
said
gave
4
a little-
stars. He
I
said
give
4
it-
stars. I said, shit, I got to read this thing.
Yeah.
I gave a
Wow.
little reading on an earlier episode. You can find it for a little taste of the book, and it made
Okay.
me laugh out loud. It's a laugh out loud book. Not,
Okay.
like I said, I can't remember the last time I laughed out loud reading
Look
a
at
book.
that. He can be whelmed.
And I laughed out
Yes,
loud
yes,
to that.
apparently it is true.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
All right. Well, maybe we'll get you. First, we'll work on the smile, then we'll work on this. It's a work in progress.
Well, thanks a lot, Jim. We
Okay.
really appreciate you
Thank
jumping in
you.
here
Okay,
and
guys.
having some
Thanks,
fun
man.
with us.
Thanks,
Cool,
guys.
cool, very good.
Thanks,
Enjoyed it.
everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right.
Bye.